UFC 323 is taking place tomorrow night, and I am here to try to predict the winner of every single fight on the card, starting with the early prelims, making our way down to the main event. Last event, the UFC Qatar show, we did really well, going 11-3. Hopefully we'll be able to repeat that. I kind of doubt that, though. These are some really hard picks to make. A lot of arguments on both sides of why a fighter should win. But I've come up with a list, and I'm confident in it, and we will see how it plays out tomorrow. But yeah, man, let's just get right into this, starting with the early prelims. Muhammad Naimov versus Myron Santos. Dude, where the I feel like we haven't seen from Myron Santos in a fucking minute, bro. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen from this guy. I was off the rip, I was already kind of debating this fight in my head, because like Muhammad Naimov is one of those fighters where, like, if you were to ask me if you think Muhammad Naimov is a good fighter, I'd come up with like 10 excuses to not answer that question. He's just kind of like it's so weird. It's weird with him. And obviously Myron Santos has looked really good since his Ultimate Fighter appearance, and obviously since then a win against Sadykhov looked really good. Ultimately, though, I am going to go with Myron Santos to win this fight. Santos did miss weight, but I just think he's going to be able to get more damage off on Naimov. Naimov is the kind of person that is a bit inactive in his wins and likes to utilize a lot more control to eke out wins, but while still being able to scramble and has power behind his punches. But I just think Santos has more experience at a younger age, a hungry age, and is probably going to get more damage off of him and has a power advantage as well. I think even if Naimov goes in for the takedowns, Santos has a decent defense, and obviously, like I said, he probably will do worse on the scrambles, but if they're just both standing in front of each other, swinging, I think Santos will have the advantage via damage. You know, even if he does get taken down, I think Santos can do a lot off his back. So I'm going to go with Myron Santos to win this fight. Not too confident in it, though, but yeah, I like Santos to win this fight. Next fight, we have Mansour Abdul-Malik versus Antonio Trocoli. What the fuck, man? Why? How is Antonio Trocoli still here? How is this guy still here, man? This guy has been smoked by, like, fucking... Dude, a Trayshawn Gore submission loss? How? What are we doing here? You're fighting someone who's 8-0-1. You're losing, bro. Like, you're just ass. You're trash. You are a can in the situation. You should know that. Abdul-Malik is one of the better prospects. I'm picking him to win. He's one of the better prospects in the division. He is a slow starter that will build into fights, but he has quick hands and power, and has the ability to ride out bad moments and mix in wrestling. So I don't see this going any other way than him winning by TKO. I just don't see it. You can't convince me of anything this guy's done in his career. Like, no. Just no. No, I'm not listening to you. What do predictions say? Yeah, 97%. I'm a beast. I don't know why I said that, but I got myself hyped up. Next fight of the night is Aslan versus Baraniewski. Man, why are they doing my boy like this? I know he lost to Billy Alakena. That's a very bad loss. But you ain't got to do him like this, man. Oh, well, you ain't got to do my boy like this, bro. Why are you doing this to him, man? This guy just beat Muhammad Ali in like 20 seconds by TKO. He beat Muhammad Ali, dude. How? I'm going Baraniewski to win this fight. Unfortunately, so. I think this guy Baraniewski is a grappler. First, that's the crazy part. I think both these guys are pretty equal in their power behind the strikes, but I just think the grappling advantage that Iwo has will play a lot bigger factor into this fight, and will probably result in like a second round finish for Iwo Baraniewski, bro. Over my guy. What have they done to you, bro? Why are they doing this to you? Who did you piss off? Remember when this guy laid out fucking Rafael Sequeira, bro? Oh, man. This is sad, bro. I hope Aslan's able to like show the power that I know he has in his punches and beat Iwo Baraniewski to the punch. I don't see it happening though, but like, I hope he can, man. Fuck, I hope he bounces back from this, cause he's number 28 in the light heavyweight division. This guy's unranked, bro. This guy's about to fucking shoot up the rankings now. Fuck. 82% of people say Baraniewski's gonna win. Fuck. Next fight: Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. If you made this matchup like a year ago, I would call you fucking insane, dude. How? I know Jalen Turner is coming off a retirement. That's why he's becoming kind of a low-level fighter. He fought 8 months ago. I don't think he's had enough time off to like, just because he's taking time off training, he's gonna fight a 40-year-old Edson Barboza at lightweight. Are we serious? Jalen Turner has such nasty boxing ability, a lot of power behind his punches. The guy's only fucking 30 years old, dude. He's also gonna have a big, look at the size advantage. Look at the reach advantage here. Or the size. Look at the size advantage of that, bro. Big size advantage. Barboza himself is turning 40. It's 2025. He's fighting at lightweight. He's losing. I'm going Jalen Turner. I swear to God. The thing is, what scares me is that this should be a lock. This is one of my locks, right? But Jalen Turner is just such a fucking choke artist, dude. I'm just worried that, like, he's... hopefully... And then again, with the whole retirement thing, you know, the loss of love for the sport, the confidence issues. On paper, like, Turner should fucking destroy Barboza at this point, bro. But I'm worried now. Because, like, I'm worried that, like, he's going to get inside his own head too much about this. Like, he unfortunately has done in the past. But I'm gonna bet that he won't. He will have figured his shit out. He will know what he's doing and will find a way to win this fight. It should be by finish, but even if it's by decision, I'll take it. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. What do people say about this fight? 85%. How do more people have Turner winning this than fucking the last fight? Holy shit, dude. Are you serious? All right. We're moving on. On the early prelims, Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I laugh because it's funny seeing Marvin Vettori on an early prelim fight. I'm going Bruno Ferreira to win. Dude, Vettori is fucking washed, man. It's over. You know, it's over, Vettori. It's over. You're washed. You're done. You're regressing. Your chin is deteriorating. Ferreira has more finishing ability. He's quicker. He has more momentum in his direction. He's really good at he'll probably throw a bunch of elbows and duck a bunch of your strikes, Vettori. And then if he needs to, mix in the grappling, which used to be a strong point of yours. But no, it's 2025. No, we're moving on. How is it near even, dude? Genuinely, how is this near even? I know Tapology odds aren't the most up to date, but how is it this close on the betting line? 61% of people have Ferreira winning. I agree. I think this is fucking ludicrous that the line's even this close. I'm going Bruno Ferreira to win. Kicking off the prelims with a bang, dude. A French and Azerbaijani bang. We have Ziam versus Nazim Sadykhov. Wow, this is such a good fight. Two big potential lightweight contenders on massive win streaks each, 9-0-1 as a combined record in their last 10. I'm gonna go with Ziam. You know, both guys are really well rounded. I think the grappling of each other's will cancel out, and I think, you know, Sadykhov has very quick, clean combinations, but I just think Ziam will have more of a reach advantage because it's like, yeah, it's 75 or 69. He'll have a reach advantage. He will be able to keep Sadykhov at bay with his jabs, the kicks he throws to the front and the head. I think he'll be able to pick at range really well and rack up damage with his jabs and counters. And then knees if Sadykhov decides to change levels and go down low. Ziam will be able to use knees to his advantage. And then Sadykhov himself, I think, leaves his body a bit more wider open when he's fighting. So I think Ziam will be able to find moments like that, pick him apart a little bit more. It'll be a back and forth, like, fucking banger, dude. Genuinely, this will be... I'm so excited for this fight. This fight will be awesome. This is the fight a lot of the hardcores will tell you about, bro. It's like, dude, these guys are fucking... Both these guys can have the ability to reach the rankings. I genuinely do believe that. Like, lightweight prospects right now are fucking hot, and these two are some of the hottest. But I'm gonna go with Ziam to win this fight. Wow, more people have Sadykhov. It's close though. It's close. So many fucking decisions, bro. Y'all are dumb. Yeah, I'm going with Ziam to win this. I just think the reach advantage will play a really big part in this, keeping Sadykhov at bay. He won't be able to find as many strikes. He'll have to rely on the combinations while Ziam can just keep him back with the jabs. I'm gonna go with Ziam to win this. Next fight on the prelims is Macy Barber versus Silva. Here, look, man. I'm gonna fucking do something I did before. All right, heads for Barber, tails for Silva. I'm going Macy Barber to win this fight. I think she'll be a bit more aggressive on the feet, and she will do better in the grappling department if it were to go there. Silva, she's a fighting nerd. I already fucking forgot she is, man. I actually do like Macy Barber quite a bit. I do think she has a lot of potential as a fighter, but I think she's gonna win. So yeah, nothing else to say. I ain't got nothing else to add to this. Next fight, Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. Damn, dude, this just puts a smile on my face. This makes me smile because this is an awesome matchup. I love Terrence McKinney and I like Chris Duncan. Now, your opinion of who wins this fight depends on how much you rate Chris Duncan, because to me, I do rate Chris Duncan a lot. I do think he's very good. Obviously, he's had wars with the guys like, Rebecki, Vucenic, and Blachowicz. But I just think that his ideology of fighting is to be like kind of this real tough guy and just like ride out the punishment that he takes isn't going to work against someone like Terrence McKinney. I also kind of don't think Duncan is on the skill level. Like, we've seen him look really good, but against fighters that aren't really on that level yet. Like, his loss to Torres, like, that's telling, in my opinion. And so for him to fight someone like Terrence McKinney, who is just so explosive out of the gate, who will come at you immediately trying to go for a finish. And, we've seen him get better and better against, opponents that, like, a lot of his wins are against, like, layups, but, like, some of them have aged pretty well. The Ziam win ages pretty well. And he does lose to genuine prospects or, like, competitive guys that are going for a ranking slot. But I just think that Duncan's Duncan's fight philosophy, where he starts out slow, relies on his toughness, isn't going to go well against someone like McKinney, who's also really starting to improve in his grappling ability. I've noticed that too in some of his fights. Like, he's able to get submissions. He's able to utilize the striking and then turn that into a grappling advantage for him and then get like a submission win, which is really, really good for Terrence McKinney. I am going to say McKinney wins this fight, probably by first round finish. If it does go past the first round, then I do think Chris Duncan will be able to piece apart, work down, just kind of grind down Terrence McKinney and get the win that way in probably a second round finish. But I'm going to go with Terrence McKinney to win this fight. I think he will do enough in the first round to get that win. I just think Duncan will be too reliant and doesn't have the skill level necessary to kind of combat a Terrence McKinney in the first round. One of the most dangerous people on the planet is Terrence McKinney on the first round. And fuck you guys, 67% of people disagree with me. You guys are wrong. You guys are idiots. You're about to be proven wrong. Anyway, final fight of the prelims. God damn, they loaded these prelims, bro. Dawson versus Manuel Torres. I love both these guys, man. I think Torres is just such a fun fighter. Such a fun, like, I don't want to say blue-collar guy, but, like, if you're only watching the fight nights and the pay-per-view prelims, if you're not watching pay-per-view, this guy's one of your GOATs. Dawson's, one of my prospect GOATs. I thought he would be the up next guy at lightweight. Was not. Maybe still can be on a 3-fight winning streak. But I think that comes to an end against Manuel Torres, bro. I fucking hate doing this. I hate betting against, like, my guys. These are all my guys that I'm betting against. I don't think are going to win. I think Torres wins this, dude. Dawson's best chance at beating someone like Manuel Torres is going to be by decision. I think Torres is way better on the feet. He could jump a guillotine whenever Dawson goes for a takedown. He can force a scramble. He can, to which he would then piece him up on the feet. And if the fight stays standing and apart from each other, Torres has the advantage, dude. Like, he can just fight at range and just fucking piece him up as well. The only way Dawson could also win is if he can clinch. He's really good in the clinch and then, shoot single leg takedowns and take the back and smother. He can win that way, but I just think Torres' takedown defense ability is also really, really good. I think it's kind of an underrated part of this guy's arsenal. He has really good takedown defense. It hasn't really been tested yet. It's about to be in this fight. But just from what we've seen from him so far, the takedown defense of Manuel Torres is really, really good. And, you know, he can stuff the head and do damage on the takedowns attempts too. We saw that in the Drew Dober fight. So he can also threaten submissions and force Dawson to stand up, which will lead to more damage-based control for Manuel Torres. For those reasons, I'm going to pick Manuel Torres to win this fight. Again, I hate picking against Grant Dawson, but I've seen a lot from Torres where I think he'll be able to control this fight a lot more than people think. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say. What do people think? Ah, fuck you guys! Okay, that's good that you think Grant Dawson's gonna win, but like, you guys are setting yourself up for disappointment though. That's just, you know, that's all I'm saying. I want Grant Dawson to win though, for real. I do want him to win. Next up, starting the main card. We are on to the main card. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Whoa. They've been having a lot of these kind of light heavyweight fights recently. Of like, you know, old guard versus new guard, you know? Really trying to test the division, which is really awesome. Who the fuck do I think's going to win this? Guskov is dangerous, but I think he's lacking a lot of grappling ability. He does have solid takedown defense, but I just think that Blachowicz hasn't regressed that much. And that's why I'm going with Jan Blachowicz to win this fight. Did I say Blachowicz? I meant Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz is going to win this fight. I think, you know, Blachowicz still has a really good chin. He has really good striking defense, which a lot of people don't really give him credit for. I think Guskov is kind of one of those fighters. He's good at drawing people in and making them feel comfortable. Like, making them think they have, like, they kind of know how to, like, figure it out, Guskov. But then all of a sudden, he throws, like, big overhand shots that just totally throw off their entire game. I think he's very good at that. I don't think that's going to work against, like, a seasoned veteran like Blachowicz, dude. I can't fucking... I have to say Blachowicz, like, altogether. That's how I say Blachowicz, just saying Jan Blachowicz. But when it's just itself, I say Blachowicz. I don't know why I do that, but that's just what I do. Jan Blachowicz is still a competitive fighter at his age. Guskov has not fought someone as technically sound as a Jan Blachowicz before, so I think that will play a big factor. I think obviously Jan Blachowicz is very good at the grappling and has enough experience to get the win. He has a lot of power in his hands too. He's like, this is all impressive for 42. Because if you look at this guy's like losses, right? Like his last 3 fights, close fight, close fight, close fight. Like these are all close fights against elite level light heavyweights. And I just don't think Guskov, as good of a run he's on right now, is going to be anywhere near that. I think, unfortunately, this is going to make Krylov look really bad, which sucks. But, you know, Billy Alakena, not impressive win. Ryan Spann, not impressive win. Fuck you, it's not. And then Zach Pauga is not an impressive win. Who did he lose to? Volkan Ozdemir. That just seals it. That should just seal it, dude. I'm going Jan Blachowicz to win this fight. He'll also chop with the calf kicks a lot. That's what that'll happen a lot, and Guskov will be like, oh, I'm drawing him in. I'm gonna fucking land something big. And then fucking he throws it. Blachowicz just eats it, fucking smiles at him, backs him up, and then fucking just throws a fucking variety of hooks his way, dude. Like, I think Blachowicz wins this fight. Probably by decision 30-27. Yeah. What, people agree with me? Yes, they do. Awesome. See, now we're on the same page here, guys. I like that. Up next, Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbott. Another old guard versus new guard. Fuck, man, this fucking card, dude. I'm gonna go Peyton Talbott to win. I am. I think, okay, so Talbott's biggest weakness, obviously, in the Barcelos loss, was his grappling defense. The guy was just spamming takedowns. Talbott just didn't have a lot of answers for him. My nose is fucking incredibly itchy. Fuck. He didn't have answers for him, so he got taken down a lot, controlled a lot, lost the fight, right? So you'd think an Olympic-level wrestler would look at that and say, hey, I should maybe take advantage of that, right? At least try to bring that out. I don't think Cejudo's going to try that many takedowns. I really don't think he will. Because if you look at his other fights, he doesn't. That's the thing. I don't... even against guys that aren't, like, elite wrestlers. Like, Sterling is good. Like, Song Yadong! Bro! He didn't even shoot... Did he even shoot a single takedown in the Song Yadong fight? I don't think he did. He just would rather stand with a fucking young boxer-like opponent. Man, this guy's fight IQ is through the fucking floor, bro. Like... I think he loses just because of that. I think he's Talbott will have better striking. He will utilize front body kicks, leg kicks, counter elbows, 1-2s down the middle, and because of his improved takedown defense, which we saw in the fight against Felipe Lima, will probably get the decision win. That's just as simple as that, man. I don't think Cejudo, and obviously too, right? Cejudo's like you know, hinting at retirement after this fight. This will be one last one. You got to think about where his headspace is and thinking like, this isn't gonna be a fight where he's gonna like try to improve his game. Do you really think that? Do you really think he's gonna try to improve his game in this fight? I don't think he is. He's just gonna go out there, you know, take it all in, have some fun maybe, and then get fucking repeatedly hit in the head by Frank Ocean's boyfriend. So it's as simple as that, man. What do people fucking say about this? 61-39. Absolutely right. God damn, bro. I don't know why that almost felt like a rant what I just did there. I was just explaining myself. Maybe just because maybe it's because Henry Cejudo just fucking annoys me. Maybe that's what it is. The guy's just a moron in his fighting. Anyway, next fight. Brandon Moreno versus Tetsuro Taira. This is fucking close. As soon as this loads. Hello. There we go. Brandon Moreno versus Tetsuro Taira. Oh, fuck. See, my gut tells me to go with Brandon Moreno. My instincts tell me that. I'm gonna go with Tetsuro Taira. I know it just made that sound like a fucking like I'm going against the grain here. I think most people have Taira, don't they? Oh no, I am. Okay, cool. See, okay, I'm ahead of the curve here. Okay, this is good. This is good for me. I think Moreno is a very solid offensive grappler when he is on top, controlling the fight on top. But I think when he's on bottom, when he's trying to defend the grappling, I think it's a bit of a weakness for him. And I think, first of all, with Taira, his striking is getting better. He has some solid boxing, which will kind of throw Moreno off, not a little bit, but like he has solid enough boxing and striking to like, you know, look good against Brandon Moreno. I think he will. But then it's really gonna come down to the grappling exchanges, and I think Taira knows that, and is gonna try to target that. I think, you know, he's gonna try to take Moreno down, eventually get hit, control him, get on his back, pull him backwards, and then go for those rear naked chokes, or at least a lot of control from the back. Like you've seen that a lot, you know, when the guy's laying on you, you're just fucking throwing strikes like right against the temple of his head while he's laying on top of you. I think we'll see a lot of that in the Brandon Moreno fight with like the fucking, you know, his legs wrapped or whatever. That's what I'm gonna predict happens. We saw that on full display against last minute replacement in Hyeongsung Park. Again, it is a last minute replacement, but still elite level grappling shown by Tetsuro Taira, which I think, you know, Brandon Moreno isn't really gonna have a lot of answers for. And I do think Moreno's best chance of winning this will be on the feet, but I just don't really see him looking as strong as he usually does against someone like a Tetsuro Taira, who is fairly young and, you know, fairly same size as him. I think the Royval fights also showcase a lot. You know, I think, you know, when Moreno fought Royval, it wasn't like the most, like, he has a lot of heart, Moreno did, like, but I think he looked a lot more gassed. He looked a lot more outclassed in moments. And then when you compare it to the Taira fight, I think it was a bit more competitive. I know the judges' scorecard saw it a bit weirdly, but the judges' scorecard was just fucking weird for that fight anyway. I just think the Taira fight was a lot more competitive than... I think the Taira Royval fight was a lot more competitive than the Royval Moreno fight. Does that make sense? All right. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with Tetsuro Taira to win. I think the grappling will play a big part in that. I think his solid boxing will also make him look good enough to stand and bang with Brandon Moreno. I'm going with Taira to win this fight. Most people think Moreno's going to win because they're idiots. They're sheeple. That's all I got to say about that. Co-main event. It's a fucking good one too, bro. Oh my god. Pantoja, Joshua Van, the Fearless. That's pretty cool. I'm going Joshua Van. I have to. Pantoja. Okay. I don't even have to. I'm going to, bro. I think I've watched the fights with Royval. I've watched the fights with Silva. The Soroya fight. Like, I'm going with Van, bro. I just think Van has the style to do it. You know, Pantoja is elite. Don't get me wrong, he's elite, but he's not faced the best opponents. I think this is one of the best opponents Pantoja has fought in his title reign since Royval. Genuinely saying this. I think Van could beat Steve Versic. I think Van could beat Kai Asakura. I think Van can beat Kai Kara France. I just think this is the guy to do it. He has the style to do it. And you know, like, all these people say, like, I just can't doubt him anymore, bro. Like, this guy he's on the come up. This guy, I don't want to say the Taporia levels, but, like, he's just on the come up. He looks great. He just looks great. I think Pantoja will start out this fight strong. You know, Van is the kind of fighter that really does like to build into fights. Another one of those fighters likes to build into fights. Starts out slow, but then, you know, gets better and better as the fight goes on. He has some great adaptability. He'll be landing oblique kicks, overhands, trying to get the fight as scrappy as possible. I think Pantoja can appear more gassed in. We've seen this in his other fights, how gassed he can appear. But he pushes through really well, lands takedowns, blitzes, gets on your back. He has a very unique way of getting takedowns that saves energy. But Van has very crazy cardio, a very strong chin. He's good at making small adjustments. An elite striker, man. This guy is piecing people up, striking the body. I think he has the ability to outdamage Pantoja with front body kicks, jabs, uppercuts, and knees up the middle. He has some really good defensive level changes when people like go down and fucking throw a strike. I think Van is very good at countering that. He has good. This is the most underrated part. He has amazing takedown defense. If you cannot take down Joshua Van in the middle of the octagon, you just can't. The guy sprawls like fucking crazy, dude. It's insane to watch. Pantoja could push Van against the cage and try to go, and try to get to the back of Van. But Van does a really good job of, in those moments, controlling the arms and then turning himself around to maintain control and stop him from getting onto his back. I do think Pantoja will be able to get a takedown in this fight. He is good at pressuring someone against the cage with blitzes, just coming at you with wild strikes, pushing you up against the cage, and then getting a takedown on you that way. But Van has a very different style of getting out of bottom positions than other Pantoja opponents. I think, you know, like, Kai Kara France, he just had the guard on him when he got taken down. But I think Pantoja likes the butterfly, like, just kind of wrap. Like, Kai Kara France likes to get under the arms real quick, like in a guard. But then Van likes to just fucking have the butterfly locked against the back. That's what he likes to do a bit more. So I think that will give him an advantage. And it's something that Pantoja really hasn't, like, you know, fought recently, or really, like, probably not mastered, like, keeping someone down in that position. But I think Van has the ability to get out of positions like that. So he's very good at getting out of bottom position that way. And I think Van will have Van has a higher fight IQ than a lot of people like to give him credit for. I think we also saw in moments in the Kai Kara France fight where Pantoja looked vulnerable for like a split second, but Kai Kara France really couldn't capitalize on it in the moments. I think Van will capitalize on moments, like coming out of clinches and, you know, out of pocket moments where, you know, Pantoja is just gassed up against the corner real quick, and then Van will be able to capitalize and throw like a big fucking meaty right hook down the fucking onto his face. This is getting away from me here. I just think Van can capitalize on moments of tiredness from Pantoja, and then Pantoja could also... He'll capitalize on moments from Pantoja. I could also see, though, that Pantoja can catch a head kick from Van and then get a takedown that way. Anything can really happen in this fight. I do, like, you know, this isn't a lock. I'm not saying Joshua Van's a lock here. I think this will be a very competitive fight, but I think when it's all said and done, Van will win by decision, via damage. He will come out as top as the new champion. All right? that felt like a rant. That just felt like a fucking rambling more than anything, but you get what I mean? I just think Van has the style to do it. I think this is the guy. I just think, you know, Pantoja is a beatable champ, and I think Van has the chance to do it. 79%, bro. This isn't even cope. I don't even think this is genuine cope. I like fan coping wise. I think if you just watch the fights, watch the Royval fights. He can do it, and watch the fights where he has his stuff takedowns, dude. Like we saw that in the Durden fight. Yeah, we saw that in the Durden fight. We saw that in the Silva fight where he can stuff takedowns, dude. He's very good at that. I think he can do it. I really think he can do it. Last fight, The main event, Merab Dvalishvili defending his bantamweight title against Petr Yan. I can't hardcore my way out of this, bro. I can't cope my way out of this one. It's gonna be Merab. Merab's gonna win this, dude. God damn it. I don't even... Alright. Merab has made some very good improvements in the striking and fight IQ since the last time these guys fought. He mixes things up better. So even if Yan is able to start piecing him up while standing up, I think, you know, Merab can just start spamming takedowns, hold him against the fence, knee his thighs, punch him in the face, take him down, make him get back up, tire him out, and start to piece him up. You know, it's just as simple as that, dude. It's the Merab way. It's just simply how Merab does things, dude. Yan just isn't the kind of fighter that can finish people. He has really good takedown defense. He also builds into fights. He does good stance switching and, you know, has big head and body kicks. As well as some big counter overhands, but just has no random finishing potential, you know? And I think that's really the only ways you can beat someone like Merab Dvalishvili is if you can just threaten to, like, catch you once and, like, knock you out or catch you in a submission and make you tap out. That's how you're going to beat Merab. That's something to make him at least wary of. I just don't see Merab... I don't see anywhere where Merab has to be wary of, like, something that Yan is threatening, you know what I mean? Yan is just very good at taking, like, what you are throwing at him and kind of, like, turning that into his own fight. But Merab is just so good. It's just so good that Yan will succumb to it. Unfortunately, he will. Maybe the best way Yan can win this is to utilize elbows and, you know, win by damage and get a decision win via damage, or even a doctor's stoppage if he gets lucky enough. That's the only thing I can see him really threatening. But other than that, he's going to have a tough time against the chain wrestling specifically at Merab, dude. I think, you know, Yan is really good at, like, stuffing the one single leg takedowns and pushing you off, that kind of sort of thing. But if you're constantly putting pressure on Yan, like Merab will probably do, he's going to have a tough time kind of figuring that out, getting off, breaking away, and then eventually you will be able to get the takedown in, which is something obviously Merab can do. Or Merab can even just stand there, threaten the headlock, get the front headlock in, just stand there, bring you out to the middle, come around to the back, and go for a submission. Like, it's just, this guy, man, fuck. This guy actually has so many ways of beating you, bro. It actually pisses me off, but I'm going with Merab to win this fight here, unfortunately. 9% of people, that's too low. That's too low. No one even has it by submission. Not 6,000 people, not a single person has it by submission. Or no, point, like, 1. If that math is correct. 0.3% of people. Alright, well, that's my prediction of this fight. That's my prediction of this card. I am not confident in my picks. Like, this is, like, a genuine, like, 4 out of 10 on the confidence level. I will tell you guys who I think are locks. I think Merab is a lock. I think Tetsuro Taira is a lock. I think none of these are. I think Bruno Ferreira is definitely a lock to win. I'm going to say Jalen Turner is a lock because on paper he fucking should. Should he not? Like, am I wrong? I know he could choke it genuinely, and if you think he will, don't fucking include it. But I'm going to include this one, bro. I'm going to say Jalen Turner is a lock. I'm going to say he is. And then also, oh man, Iro Baraniewski. Prove him wrong, Ebo. Please. You're the last Ottoman. Prove him wrong. You're only 29, dude. Your career can't peak like this, man. It just can't. And then Mansour Abdul-Malik, dude. If you fucking lose this fight, I'm actually just I'm closing the channel. Like I don't know where to go from here if he loses this. Those are my predictions. Those are my locks. My predictions. Let me know in the comment section down below what your predictions are for this event. How excited you are. How nervous you are. How Yan is actually gonna get a win out of this fight. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share. And if you want to see more predictions and reactions, if you want to see my reactions to this event on Monday, you can fucking subscribe to the channel right here, which should definitely do so. Here's a video YouTube thinks you will like, and here's some other reactions and predictions of other UFC cards. That's going to do it for me, though. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.